Hi, and welcome everyone. Welcome to our webinar on being up to date for CRM software and new trends for 2022. I'm Eric Hale, Head of Sales Enablement at Creatio, and we have a great agenda for you today for our webinar. We'll be joined today by our esteemed colleagues at Solutions Metrics. We're going to be setting the context for the overall webinar. We'll be discussing things such as social CRM, providing a complete customer experience, aligning CRM with your business processes, and how to integrate AI and machine learning into your CRM. And then as we wrap up the call, we're going to be looking at a different direction and how to implement a CRM.
Perfect.
So let me just introduce Sebastien Forget, President and owner of Solution Metrics. Sebastien.
Hi, Eric. Nice to meet you, everyone, or to see you. That's great. I'm so pleased to be here for this webinar. We've been working really hard this year. It's a fantastic year. We see a lot of changes as well. So talking about 2022 will be really exciting today. A little of myself. So I'm the founder of a company called Solution Metrics. We only do CRM for the past almost 15 years. It will be 15 years in 2022. A proud partner of Creatio. We love the platform. We like the technology. It's amazing what we can do, what we've done with it so far. So really excited about 2022.
Excellent.
So excellent, great.
Yeah, thanks, Sebastien. And yeah, if I could just give a little overview of Creatio, who we are as an organization. So Creatio is a provider of a single platform that automates industry workflows in CRM with no-code technologies. Literally millions of workflows are launched on our platform daily. We have thousands of customers all around the globe. And we also have a very robust partner network, partners like Solution Metrics that help us extend our reach into over 110 countries. So the platform as well as the company have been widely recognized by industry analysts at Gartner and Forrester. And really our mission here at Creatio is to help companies accelerate. And our vision for our low-code technology is creating a world where our customers and our partners can automate any business idea in minutes, utilizing our low-code platform, and really give them the freedom to own their automation. Excellent. And if we look at the foundation of our platform is our Studio Creatio, and this is really where we are enabling citizen development. So you don't necessarily need to be a coder or a developer to automate workflows, create applications, and manage change going forward. On top of the platform is where we have built comprehensive applications for sales, marketing, and service automation. And that fourth box that you see on the left is our Creatio Marketplace, where we have hundreds of out-of-the-box connectors, add-ons, and templates that will allow you to extend the core functionality of Creatio into other aspects of your business. As I had mentioned, we've been highly recognized by industry analysts, including being named to 5 Gartner Magic Quadrants, including 2 leader categories. First for being B2B marketing automation platforms, and the second for Salesforce automation, where we've been a leader for 3+ years now. And we also have been recognized for process management and also low-code application development capabilities of the platform as well.
That's great. Thank you so much, Eric. So I'll present a little about ourselves, and then we'll go right into the future of 2022, which is only 3 weeks from now at this point. But so our mission about Solution Metrics, we're there to ensure ROI. We're all about user adoption, change management. We really want to make sure that people succeed with their project. As you've seen previously, there's sales, customer service, marketing, there's a marketplace, there's a lot we can do in automation with Studio. We're going to talk about it today, but we see the CRM as a tactic to achieve business objective, and you have a complete toolbox to be able to enable those tactics. So that's our duty to really work with you to make sure you succeed in that. And to do so, we developed a strategy really around business. So we're actually a firm that operates in IT world, but we're a consulting firm that are super competent with IT as well. So we have the two competencies at Solution Metrics. So that's why we're all about best practice, consultative approach, demonstrating how to do it, the best way to do things. And we're also became really good in change management. So we need to make sure our customers succeed with the changes that they're doing within their business. So when we talk about acceleration, innovation, those things are really important on the human side. So the technology is fantastic. We just need to make sure that the business can absorb that change. So that's also part of our strategy and our mission. So what's our value proposition? First, we advise on best CRM techniques, so the best way to operate the CRM and the way to achieve your business goal as well. Where we're making people autonomous, and Eric talked about it, about the citizen developer. So that's our duty to make sure you're autonomous with the platform. We're always there to support our customer, but we like and we love, and that's our goal, when they are able to operate, customize the platform and create this. We'll talk about it later, but the chain of value of innovation. So we also want to make sure that you recover ROI. So we from a CFO perspective, want to make sure investment, return on investment, and investment, return on investment. So that's how we approach those projects. And what we help company do, and where we have a good fit when they want to increase income. So they want to grow, right? They're in growth phase. They want to improve customer satisfaction and loyalty and retention. They want more visibility within their business, so dashboard, KPI, analytic, and also they want to engage with their prospect in a more personalized and relevant approach. So that's what we help company do.
I would also add to that, Seb, because I've had the pleasure of working with you a few times, but also you design a great employee experience as well. So you match to a very important aspect of CRM, and that's user adoption. And I've rarely seen a better approach than Solution Metrics takes to that. So
absolutely, we'll touch on that subject because there's a shortage of worker in all the G8 countries and even more the G20. So it's really important that you also address the employee experience and employee efficiency. Absolutely, and that's part of what we need to do as a business in 2022. Definitely. So it's a really good segue into the different. I believe that today you will learn few statistics and where it is. So we tried in this presentation to really give you a picture of what it is in 2021 and what it will become in 2022. Just to say, we have a lot of things to share. So we will also publish the video after, so you can you don't have to take notes on every slide. It will actually be available for you to download. So what are the CM trends that we're going to address today? The social CRM. So we're going to talk about how the COVID-19 or the pandemic influenced the way that customers are buying. How we build now a complete customer experience. So that has transformed, and it will be different in 2022. The CRM and business process. So the automation, making employee more efficient as well. Very important topic in what we discussed about the shortage of resources. AI, so for sure it will continue in the machine learning. The CRM plays a really important role in that in 2021 and will continue in 2022. And the way we do implementation, so that's the core of our business. The way we do implementation has also transformed. So I want to touch on that today because that's a new trend. And it's very interesting, I think, for both the integrator and the SI like us, as well as the customer and the software manufacturer and the like Creatio and Eric's team. So let's talk about the social CRM for the post-COVID-19 era. So I'm personally almost tired to see that word. I think we all had enough of the COVID-19, but as sad the COVID-19 was, and it still is, there's few acceleration that business had to put in place in order to circumvent the the consequences of the pandemic. So first couple of stats, and like we said, we're going to share those after with you. The community. So people go online now. So 68% of customers are more likely to use online communities such as chat room or forums to do product search, product review. So we always knew from the previous presentation we've done, and it's been there for a long time, that a part of the purchasing cycle, so the customer purchasing cycle, is done internally before they actually engage with their supplier or vendor. But now what's different is the community gets in. So it's part of the search they're doing before. And we've seen that in the B2C or the retail space, right? Amazon, the stars you have on Amazon, it's a good example. Now that has transformed to B2B. So for $1 million project, we're not used to see IT people or even going online and try to see reviews, but it's a democratization of all the information. So here's the trend. So we'll talk about how to work with this on the social CRM field. So 78% of salespeople who engage in social selling outperform their peers. Eric is an experienced salesperson, so right, you know how it is on that side. The social selling is really important.
Oh yeah, it's integral to your strategy, right? In sales, it's something, if you're not doing, you're falling behind your peers. You're going to fall behind your competition. For an old guy like me, said we have to embrace the new technology, and you have to be ahead of your competitors on that.
Absolutely. And the digital engagement is really important. So that's why you're more efficient by 26.4% if you do so. So you're gonna have more success. You're gonna close more deal, more commission. So it's win for the people, because as you know, I have some gray hair, so you can see that I'm in the good old days, sitting in front of the customer, having a dinner, talking business. It's still good today, but there's lots of transformation that happens. So we connect on LinkedIn, we have a quick Zoom call, and then we're gonna go and manage the digital reputation. So it has transformed. And when you leverage those tools, you're 27-ish or 26% more efficient. So, and the digital sell as well. So meaning that you have not meeting face-to-face, your customer is rising to the roof. So even sometimes we'll go online without even engaging and buy. So we've seen an increase by 18% of that. So that's an important stat as well. So what are our recommendations? What can we do knowing that's happening and will continue to happen in 2022? So me and Eric, we're the good old selling of meeting with your customer face to face, going for, like I said, a lunch, engaging with them, and even at some point to say, I know my customer, I don't need a CRM, I know them very, very well. I call them on the cell over the weekend and they will answer. So that's still good. We like that. We're not against that. It's just it transformed. So you need to take that digital engagement and exactly like you had for the traditional engagement and do it in a remote fashion. So that's how it is. That's how it's become. So there's lots of techniques in order to enable that. But the goal and the recommendation here is what you were doing face-to-face need to transform into a remote digital way. Now, it's easier said than done, but there's techniques to achieve so. We have video embedded in email. We have, for sure we have the Zoom, but I know there's a lot of people that are zoomed out, but there's other technique as well to engage that way. So that's definitely a recommendation to craft that in your sales cycle, in your customer journey. So the digital interaction. Positive is once you have your digital channel working with the traditional channel, you decouplate and you have a leverage you're leveraging each other, two methodology or two ways of approach. So you're getting really, really efficient. So we need to integrate the social media channel with CRM. So that's a given. Eric, right? We prospect. We engage a lot with on LinkedIn. Exactly like we're not doing that much those days, but the happy hours or the business fair where you go take a drink, meet with people, and chit chat. So there's a way to do a little of that on LinkedIn by engaging to social media.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's to keep up with the customer demands, right, Seb? It's customer expectations are that they can engage you on any channel and have a seamless experience, right? So whether that's face-to-face, social, we have to make sure that that experience is consistent throughout the entire customer journey as well.
Absolutely. And to build that customer journey at the inception of that journey is you have to build your brand. So your brand will be selling as well. So we talk a lot on the B2C side about the brand. In the B2B, there's a lot of education and demonstration and credentialize the business that you can do through digital channel. So this will help you build the trust one-on-one that by having this business. So it's not, for sure you need to build the trust one-on-one with your prospect, but also having your strategy to have a business that support you to build that one-on-one trust. We talk about things like nurturing, lead nurturing, so a personalized engagement plan that's digital with your prospect. So so to craft your customer or prospect journey, that's very, very important to do so with the two channels working together, traditional and digital. So they both have interaction at the right time. So that's definitely something that needs to be done in 2022. Let's talk about now the complete customer experience. So what is that? So here's some stats about the customer experience as a whole. So as we know, 80% of customers are willing to pay more for better customer experience. So that's very, very important. Sometimes we say, I'll give you a better price. No, that's not what keeps customer. What keeps customer is better or extraordinary customer experience. They will stay. That doesn't mean, by the way, that you don't do errors as a business. It's just the way you handling those problems. So that's very important, and it increased, by the way, from years to years. So when you're, and again, that's post-pandemic, when you're more remote, when your engagement is digital with your vendor or supplier, and you have less grasp than visiting them in the office and meet face-to-face once a week. Once you're able to build that trust in a remote way, people like it because they have best of both worlds. So they have the flexibility of the digital engagement, but they also have the benefits of trusting someone exactly if they were face-to-face. So that has increased. So 40% of customer report marketing impulse purchase after great personalized experience with a brand, meaning that if your engagement plan is good, you really personalize, and we're going to talk about audiences and how to segment those in 2022. We've seen an increase of 49% that people are making impulse purchase. So it's just an indicator to see that people really like, or when they like it, they're willing to. So the trends of remotely, digitally, I'm seeing something I like, I'm willing to try it, and if I like it, I'll stay with it. So that's the mindset. Mm-hmm. And for sure, 89% of customers have switched to a competitor after a bad customer experience. And honestly, why the 89%? I would say here, the hidden stats behind that is the company that, or the business that, had a problem or an error or something with their customer, they didn't treat it well. They didn't treat it well because it happened. Our businesses are not perfect. It will happen. Now, what's make the difference is the way you handle it. If you handle it well, you will go on the 86% because you say, you know, they made an error, but they were really proactive. They talked to me, they SMS me, they text me, they email me. So the engagement you have with your customer is super important when those unfortunate mistakes happen. And we're seeing it, and Eric, we've done some customer together where they actually happen to have some errors or you know, unfortunate thing arise with their customer, leveraging a platform and having, so okay, when there's a problem, here's the process, here's the automation, here's the escalation, who's going to do who, what, when, how, you know, it's really clear. And there's traditional, like, okay, we're going to call a person, we're going to send them an SMS, we're going to send them an email, we're going to send them a letter, we're going to you know, people say, oh wow, okay, they messed up, but they, you know what, they recognize the error and they want to work with me. They're not going, oh, too bad, so sad. So this is the 89%. So right, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I know we're going to talk about AI and machine learning a little later in the webinar here, Seb, but, you know, with a good CRM in place, we can start to be proactive, whether that's in our efforts to engage customers, you know, before a service incident happens, engage customers, being able to better predict what their next best offer or next best action will be within our engagements with them. So, you know, I think that these statistics, you know, speak to the fact that you need to have a modern CRM that's going to be able to help you be more proactive with your customers.
Absolutely, and that's our recommendation, right? Plan your customer journey, both digital, traditional. When we say customer, we also prospect. And even customer journeys now, they do personalize. So you have your loyal customer journey. Even some businesses will segment their customers. I don't like the A, B, and C's. I like a better terminology than that, but we all have our important customer, our customer that are strategic to have, and we need to keep them. You have your customer that you need to develop. So you have a high potential, but you have a low penetration. You have your customer that are super loyal. They don't have that much potential with you, but you're going to be selling every year to them. So they can be in different journeys. The engagement plan can be different with those. It's okay. But if you don't have a good system to manage that, it will be complicated. And when you have thousands of customers, even 100 customers, you will lose track of what, when, if my spreadsheet won't do the job here. So map the entire purchase cycle and the journey and the life of the customer. That's very, very important. So we do those all the time with our customers. So it's you know, we get walls full of Post-it, and we ensure we want to make sure that and we're seeing as a joke, Eric, that at Solution Metrics, our customer are not the king. Our customer's customer are king. So and what this does is we want to make sure that our customer have the best journey for their customer. So we're supporting them, and what your customer, what you want them, what the experience that you want your customer to go through, that's the mapping you need to do. And you have personas, you have different types of customer, but that's very, very important. And once you map that, you plan it. So you put your platform in Creatio is a great example. You automate that. And by the way, low code, it doesn't need, this should not be, you know, a month project. It should be a couple days just to automate and a citizen developer should do that and make that evolve as well, because your version 1 will be different than your version 2. So, and also we all have some uniques in our business. And the unique is really important, not only on the communication plan and the marketing side, but also in the different techniques of engagement to craft your customer experience. So they need to be predominant in your journey. That's very, very important. And because that's back to the previous stat, that's what will make people stay with you. So we all have business value, core values. We all have our uniques. We all have what makes us different. It needs to be reflected in your journey, because that's how we attract customer and attract talent as well for the employee. So really, really important here on the customer experience. And we've, me and Eric have worked on complex. We work on really complex customer journey, because sometimes, and honestly, we've always been succeeding, and the customer always find value in that. Right. And as well, that's one of the things we talked about ROI earlier. Super easy to, small investment-ish, big outcome. Hey, keeping one or two customer, the retention is normally, it pays for itself. That would be weeks of a few weeks, and you recover your investment. So absolutely great. Excellent. So CRM and business process, okay, a perfect match. So right in line with what we discussed earlier with Eric about automation and making people more efficient. So just the stats here. So and then we'll go into the recommendation. So the productivity software market, okay, collaboration, all sorts of application to make you more efficient and more productive, will be 62 billion by 2022 and 85 billion by 2025. So, and on the demographic, when you read it and when you look at the different study, there's a shortage of worker, and unfortunately, because of the pandemic, there's lots of immigration that didn't happen. It won't recover like this. The G20 countries cannot absorb too much immigrant at the same time, so it will take some time. It will take few years, and when it's a few years, depending on the country. I'm based in Canada, so in Canada they predict it's going to be for the next 8 years, where it's going to be difficult on the recruitment, talent acquisition for businesses. So we're not out of this. So it's really unfortunate, and the market sees it, so they invest a lot in the productivity software to make you more efficient. And Creatio, right, Eric, is a productivity software as well. So it's a productivity software which Creatio built a CRM on, but that's what it is, right? So when you talk about the studio and the ability to do lots of automation, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's just a great point that you brought up, Sebastian. Is even as those workers, if you're looking at development workers, skilled development workers, they're at a shortage, but also they're being attracted to large, high tech, the Googles, Amazons of the world that are taking up the best talent and leaving a smaller pool, for organizations that are, focused outside of technology as well. So we see that trend.
Absolutely. Great point. And that one, it's really impressive. So there's 60% of occupation that could be at least reduced by a third for daily activity. So in 60% of all the roles and that we have, there's about a third of daily activities that can be automated. So it's all about automation, and this has increased as well. And it's honestly, I'm personally surprised of this stat, because I thought that since 2010 we've been working on automation and standardizing. But here's what happened. Yes, we all have now the Google, the Outlook, and so we're all automated. There's less and less paperwork out there. There's less spreadsheet out there. We try to automate more. But here's what's happening. Our customers are becoming way more complex than it was before, and the standard as just shipping an order, so it's become way more complex as well. So customer more complex to engage, not complex, but they're more, I think they just want, to be treated better than it was 10 years ago. And everything is more complex than 10 years ago, from shipping an order to cashing a check to everything is more complex. So that's why we need more and more automation, even if we've been automating our business in the past 10 years. So that doesn't stop. And honestly, it's, I would like to say, or to foresee by reading, a lot, is when this will stop, and honestly, we won't come to a point where we say, okay, we're good, because the evolution won't stop. So people, ask me when we're going to stop, doing and improving. I say we're going to stop improving when technology and the human will stop evolving. So it will never happen. So that's why we need to be in that innovation mentality always. So other stats is on the sales side, and Eric, I know you've been a great salesman before, and only a third of their day is talking to prospect and engaging with prospect, and things that could be automated, like entering data, manually typing a long email, looking for leads, attend internal meetings, that again can be shortened. There's a lot of techniques for that. Scheduling call, planning calls. So there's a lot of tools that can help on that side. So it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. That's how it is. And I think, Eric, you've been in your, let's say, a good old days experiencing that as well, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's we spend a lot of time with manual processes. Some organizations more manual than others. It's sometimes death by spreadsheet, death by data input. And that's really what we're talking about here is evolving away from that. As time marches on, we can automate things and spend more time focused on revenue generating activities versus these repetitive and sometimes mundane tasks that sales reps experience in a day.
Absolutely. And salespeople are, from my experience, are really not good data entry clerk. So there's a lot of, and that's part of the recommendation as well. So we'll see. So why we need to be more efficient. So for example, just in Canada, the country I'm in, so there's 1 million job available right now. So this stats is few days old. So there's 1 million job available that are not fulfilled right now. In the US, it's 10.44 million. By the way, out of the 10.44 million, it's 1 million in IT. 1 million in IT. So that's why you need a platform like Ratio, because it is really difficult to find an IT developer profile. So the sales coordinator, the marketing coordinator, so those people, we make them citizen developer, meaning that they don't have a development background. They don't have a developer background. They don't know how to code, but they know how to automate some workflow. So if they can create a Visio or something that sort, they can operate a Creatio. So, and again, with all, I think it's a reflex to say that CRM is for sell. The automation is not just for sell. So we talked about that, the fact that that salespeople get involved in a lot of things that they shouldn't. Automate that. So if there's an RMA process, if there's a return, if there's a quote approval process, if it's a complex quote, if it's, automate the sales with other department and automate the other department as well. Make it visible for the salespeople so they know the 360-degree profile of their customer, but they should not be doing clerical stuff that could be done or automated within the business. So that's very, very important. And again, when we say automation, you don't have to automate 100% of the process, but it's a great victory to automate 80% of the process and have 20% manual for the version 1. So people sometimes are scared and say, I cannot automate this, it's too complex. Great, let's not automate the whole process, but let's do a first step, the crawl, walk, run approach. Let's do a first step. Let's automate 70%, 80% of it. So everything that's, data entry, clerk-ish, mundane tasks to be done, let's automate that. Let's have the human take the decision if it should go, scenario A, scenario B, whatever the outcome should be. That's a human decide on that. But at least all the prerequisite work that needs to be done in gathering the information, let's automate that piece. So it craft the mindset of more automated process in your business, as well as the marketing automation. So the marketing automation, that's a different webinar that we've done previously. It's a really important piece in the customer engagement and the customer journey. It's good on the lead gen as well. This is where we've seen marketing automation mainly arise, is on the lead generation side. it's now the marketing automation serve as well, and the same technique serve for the customer journey management as well in the service. So really, really important thing to consider in 2022. We cannot talk about 2022 without talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. And for a long time, AI and machine learning were in their separate world and were communicating with other tools. But now the machine learning techniques has also evolved. The different algorithm also evolve in order to have, let's say, a democratized AI that's accessible for most of the businesses. What we like as well is AI was good when you only had millions and millions and millions of records. Now what happened is you can leverage the public record with your own private record while maintaining the privacy. So I don't want to go into the detail of the governance and privacy of the information, but you maintain the privacy and the AI is good enough to discriminate the two, but leveraging the same algorithm. And when you have, for example, neural network, they can have different sources of learning. So those actually helps you have an AI that works, even if you don't have millions and millions of record for your machine learning. So couple stats. So and this is where the AI can help. So we talked about it. So lots of reps spend time in data entry. It's the equivalent of one work day per week. So where we've seen AI in this, so dictation, voice recognition, speech to text. So I'm even in our level of implementation right now, I say to the salespeople, don't take notes anymore. You dictate your phone what the notes are, and it will take the note. We're recording for phone conversation as well. So when you had two people on the phone, it was really, really, really difficult to actually separate both conversation to do a resume. Now it's getting better. So you don't have to take summary. We have text summarization as well. So what text summarization is that let's say I have 5 pages of a document and AI will summarize it in 2-3 phrases. So that's all techniques that we use to spend less time on data entry. So we talked about the enrichment of data as well. So you don't have to type the address of your customer in your CRM. Normally it's known, it's public. So you actually import that. So there's lots of techniques that we can do, but unfortunately it's the equivalent of 1 work day per week, which is 20%. So and guys like Eric, you want to make them 100% efficient. So it's really, really important. It's a precious gem in your crown. So it's important. 60%, 65% of companies are using or leveraging mobile CRM. So to achieve their sales goals, that's very important. So mobile CRM is the strategy to make sure you achieve your goals. It's really, really important. That's the heart of your tactics. And Eric, I know you're a big fan of mobile CRM as well. So you've seen all sorts of unique way of leveraging those while not only visiting customer, but even when you're have an idea or follow-ups or stuff like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so we see that, even as, workforces, age, right, as we're aging, you and I have been in this game a long time, Sebastian, the days of, having your notepad and taking notes feverishly while you're out with your customer, not being able to access, customer data and customer records in the field is prohibitive to sales now, right? We need to be able to focus on that customer, have all of the data that we need while we're in front of them. So mobile CRM is, is the way to go. And if you're not doing it now, you're falling behind what your competitors may be doing. You need to have that full 360-degree view of your customers, wherever you are, when and where you need it. And the only way to accomplish that is to have, mobile CRM capabilities.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we talked about AI, so that's great. And as well, the information is accessible to your mobile CRM. There's other stuff also that you can leverage on your mobile that's more difficult on the desktop. So for example, taking picture, and I have, when we say mobile, it could be as well, not only smartphone, but iPads or tablets, where we sit down with our customer and we do reviews, annual reviews, quarterly reviews with our customer, all driven by my CRM, all driven with my tablet. So and platform like Creatio, they can, for example, if we do an annual review with our customer where we sit down, look what happened last year, what's our plan for next year, it will spit it out in a really nice format. So you're not talking about a CRM screen, it's spit it out in a really nice crafted PDF that you can review in a great format. So it look really good. And that's part of the mobile strategy as well, where and that's important. An annual review is a good example where it can take lots of time to gather all the information to produce those, while in Creatio it takes it's automatically done. So last stats is it's still upcoming, but there's 28% of company that take their CRM as a feed for the artificial intelligence. So it's a feed for the machine learning. That's very, very important. And so the customer experience start on that side as well. So and 63% have implemented AI for things like next product recommendation or next best product, next best action. So those are all to increase revenue. 58% have at least one element on a process or product, and 30% have as AI in all of the department working together. So so AI is there, it's embedded in the business. So and like I said, to do an AI project before, you needed lots of data scientists and was really complicated. Honestly, not for not for the IT guys, but you look at that, say, okay, what's this? It's kind of weird beast of whoa, why we're gonna do AI and do the intelligence will replace? No, it's so it has become way more simpler, and the benefits. Like we're talked about ROI, so let's do something that you can recover ROI with. So it's not an investment for now for 2050. It's something you can retrieve ROI rapidly. So it's a crawl, walk, run approach we like. So let's do something. Let's start at least. So you get, you're getting into that, because it's not going away. The AI is there to stay. So some recommendations. So improve product and service offerings. So that's for sure. I see. So one of our customer, they get so they're on insurance, they get claims, right? So claims comes in and the AI look at it and say, okay, this claim is standard, so we'll send it to a department. If it's a claim that is complex, so I spare you the detail, it will send it to another department. So and there's some engagement with the customer, digital engagement that's done at the same time. Honestly, customer experience to the roof, because you cut your time by lots of the research and the data that needs to be gathered when you receive a claim already done by Creatio. Send it to one department, and they are really quick because it's a more simpler claims, versus if it's a more complex claim, you have different profiles. So it's better for the employee, as we said earlier in this in this webinar, better for the customer, better for the business, better for, so it's a win-win-win-win-win. So that's an example of what AI can do. So optimize your internal business process as well. So AI can be, is it right 100% of the time? No, but if you're right 97.6% of the time, like the stats we were in that claim, it's good. It saves lots of time. It's better for the customer. It's better for everyone. So, and those are example of where, do AI will have and automate and take decision on all the process? Absolutely not. Some process, yes, but don't, we just need, can a decision be taken here by just looking at the information? yes, let's have our machine. And is it complex? It's just not just a number, it's a multitude of factors. You know what? We can automate that with the AI. It's not, we don't have to go to a big if then else. There's a lot of things that can be that the AI can learn from. So and make better decision as well. So, or better and quicker decision. So because you know what, humans are not always right either. So it can help, and it's really good on that side as well, for the decision making. So AI can help you in part of your internal process, and even external process, help you on the decision side. So, and Eric and me have seen a lot of example of that in the claim was one, but there's multitude, right, Eric?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's throughout any industry, any process that's out there. Anytime that we can leverage data very rapidly to make better decisions, you're going to benefit. Your organization is going to benefit.
Absolutely. And just another example is, so when the AI, so I'm not going to talk about the technical detail, but the AI can look at lots of different factors, and will learn from that. And sometime, and that's also part of our condition sometime. So let's talk about the predictive sales and marketing. So the AI will look at the past history. Are they active on LinkedIn? Are they active on Facebook? Are they doing this? What's their browser? Do they have a browser with the latest version? So there's lots of things that the AI will learn from, because there's lots of data points that as a human, we won't have time to go and look at all of this, right? So that's the power of AI, is you have both an IT predictive machine with an analytic capability that's really, really, really strong. So so the two work together very, very well. So learning about audiences as well. So in the good old days, and still today sometime, the marketing would say, okay, I want, as an audience for a campaign, for example, they would say, okay, I want all the manufacturing business in that region that makes $100 million and more in revenue, at least 500 employees, and I want the title to be this and that. So that's normally how we build, or previously we were building audiences for a campaign. Now it's different. You have what the outcome of the campaign you want to be, in terms of you're targeting your people for what. And then the AI will go through all your prospecting contact database and identify who's most likely to buy or engage in with this offer, based on way more data points than just where they're located, revenue, title, etc. So the audiences, and we're seeing that. So it's big in the retail right now, and it's coming in 2022 for B2B as well. So there's a lot of retailer, and I'm under NDA, so I cannot speak about those and give names, but there's a lot of retailer, when they promote a product, they actually don't try to figure out who the audiences will be. They will let the AI know and say, okay, go in all of our customer, finds who bought that product and the common denominator, and learn from it, and then identify all the prospect for this. Ta-da, this is the audience for next. So, and it's, it analyzes lots of things. So that's an example of AI. The voice technology, so what we call the contactless CRM, where we don't have to take note, and that's what we refer earlier with Eric. Mm-hmm. An indicator from the 360 profile as well. So the machine learning learns, and again, you don't have to have 20 million customer. You take the public record or the public information, you leverage it for your own business, and you have in your 360-degree profile some indicator from the AI. Are they likely to renew? Are they likely to buy this? For example, a customer that haven't spoke with you, then called and you went to your website since the past 6 months, it could be that the AI tells you, something's happened. For example, it's just a simple example. There's way more data points than this, but those are a good example that me and Eric have seen through through the years, and that's becoming even more in 2022. Absolutely. Great. Now I'm gonna go quick on this one. I know what time is flying. So a different orientation for the implementation. So me and Eric work with lots of happy customer at Creatio. 10 years ago, an implementation was a complex project with lots of risk, lot of investment. We had to put a governance. It was an IT project that could go, risky, and we all heard about IT project that go ×2 in timeline and ×3 in budget, and that has changed. Why? Because the platform are more nimble. So when we talk about having citizen developer, there's lots of contribution. It's a collaboration project. It's not anymore the IT implementing new tools for us. That the mindset is gone. So it's first couple stats, 80%, 88%, the technology is more important than ever. Everyone knows that they need to be more strategic in engaging with customers. So just not be order takers or, scripting what we need to speak about the customer, but being more intelligent or more relevant and strategic than that. We need, more digital. There's an acceleration in the digital initiative because of due to the pandemic, and 91% of company with 10 employees or more are using a CRM. So CRM has become CRM for everyone. Even a startup needs a CRM almost now. So as soon as they're two, they take a CRM. It's a competitive advantage. You need that to be efficient. You can automate, you leverage on that. And as funny as it is, we're seeing now since 2 years, and it will be the trend. CRM project not bigger in terms of time, but more attention, let's say, than ERP project. So people understand that the front office is more important than the back office. So recommendation, the Arevalo local customization tool. So that's, we need to leverage those. So instead of having a big, let's say, year project for implementation of CRM, with Creatio local, we rapidly get into a version 1 in weeks. Now, we prefer to have multiple versions than a big version, so we'll evolve, but we recover the OI. It's better for the user adoption. It's better for the change management. So it creates this cycle of innovation when solution metrics, the goal is create value for your customer, create value for the business by automating lots of process, and you're ultimately creating value for the shareholders. So when that chain of value exists, the innovation needs to become part of the change management approach. So so we have way smaller project, but more smaller project, which benefits everyone. So that's good. And on the low code, and the deployment is different. The way you also handle your production is different. So you don't need to go and retrain people a lot because so it's not a big bang approach. So it makes it way more easier to absorb for the business. So it's really a win-win-win situation. So it's different. The way we do implementation is different with Creatio and in 2022. So and less risk, better ROI. I think that the timelines are better. You can adopt more. It leaves more room for innovation and amelioration of the process. So I think it's very exciting for us as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great approach, Sebastian. I mean, it allows organizations to stay ahead of disruptions, whether that's a global pandemic or competition coming in from the tech industry, right? It allows you to stay ahead, allows you to get to market quicker, and actually can get out ahead of it as well, right? Do some disrupting of your own if you're leveraging technology correctly. Excellent. Well, wonderful presentation as always, Sebastian. We open up to Q&A now, and we've actually got a few questions queued up in chat here. So the first question really surrounds our section on social CRM. And the question is, Sebastian, how do I know that I need to migrate from a traditional to a social CRM?
Perfect. So there's no such thing as migrating. So you don't migrate. I think your CRM platform needs to have social capabilities. And how do you know if you need to move to a social CRM approach is, do you engage on on social media with your prospect or customer?
Mhm.
And if the answer is no, you're probably in a real traditional industry, and that's right, that's good, no problem. But for most of us, the answer will be yes. It will make you more efficient. You can engage differently. You can leverage lots of tools. So actually what you need to have is the component of the social CRM in your traditional sales CRM. The traditional does not go away. It's just you need a platform that can, like Cratio, that can handle both at the same time. Because when both are working together, I said it, that's what we've seen. When the traditional sales channel work with the digital sales channel, it makes magic. So it decouples the I want to say the horsepower, but the efficiency of the salespeople. It's really, 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 really important. For sure, you need to have good customer journey, prospect journey, a sales process that's not linear necessarily. But so how do you know? Do you engage digitally with your prospect and customer, and other than just sending emails? If so, yes, you need that. That's very, very important.
Excellent, excellent advice. Another question is surrounding artificial intelligence and machine learning. The question is, I'm curious how artificial intelligence and machine learning can help us to manage our lead generation. So again, going back to that marketing topic you had earlier, Seb.
Absolutely, the marketing automation. So I think we talked about the audience and AI, so that will be an example. So, and again, the AI will help you make you more efficient. So on the lead gen side, you will get lots of leads by doing some, marketing activity, marketing automation. And the AI helps you talk with the right people. Will help you by looking at lots of data points of your leads that are engaging with you to properly identify where they are in their purchasing cycle, so you're more relevant when you engage with them. So it's and again, the AI, once there's some learning that's been done, plus you give some input about what is the typical purchasing cycle of your customer. I'm not talking about what's your sales cycle, right? Our sales cycle, it's internal. It's qualified, quote, negotiation, demonstration, whatever it is, that's your internal. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's misaligned with where the customer is in his purchasing cycle. A good example is I can be sending a quote to someone. So my internal sales cycle will be quote to someone that's really not ready to receive a quote, is absolutely elsewhere. So we're misaligned. So you know what? If you see in your CRM opportunity pushing and pushing and pushing, so the expected close date pushed by 5-10 times, that's a symptoms of having a misalignment between the purchasing cycle and the sales cycle. And AI can help you on that side as well. So by lots of data points, knowing where that person is on his own purchasing cycle.
All right, perfect. And I think we got time for one more here, Seb. And I think this one is going to test your artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithm. So the question is, do you have any predictions on how CRM will evolve in 2022?
I do. And it's not AI. It's just me. So it's artificial dumbness. No, I'm joking. But honestly, it's from all the readings I'm doing and the shows and when webinars I'm assisting, definitely, and that's a good news for all of our customers and people who are on the CRM journey, is So on the CRM world, for sure, the CRM initiative, the customer relationship management, will continue to be really important for all businesses, because the way we said it, the way people buy is different. The retention is really important now, the digital engagement. So you need a CRM to articulate those tactics and achieve those business objectives. On the technology side, the platform like Ratio will get easier to operate. And this is where we're going to see in 2022, there's big guys in that field. And it's sometimes bigger boats take more time to turn. It will see I think the leader in technology will not necessarily be the biggest platform that are the most complex and have the most customer. I think the leader in 2022 will be the technology that are more complete and flexible. So, and that's very important, because a big platform can be super complex to handle. There's a shortage of IT resources. So if you need a full-time certified IT guy to operate your CRM, it will be difficult in 2022. So the trend will be to simplify the operation of CRM. So as you're evolving in managing your customer journey, your digital engagement, et cetera, businesses want to be autonomous and do so. Yes, I have some support from company like Solution Metrics to recommend best practices, guide them on change management, user adoption. But that's, to me, the trends of 2022.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement, and hopefully the audience has got some food for thought on how to think about the future of CRM as we march into 2022. So Sebastian, I would really like to thank you for the great insight that you've provided, as always, and we look forward to our next session with you. So thank you very much, and thank you to the audience for joining us today.